Go. So I've been using the awesome Jedi challenges from Lenovo, and it is one of the coolest things that I have ever used, and it's so cool, but I've had some issues with it, but at the same time it's really rad. Let me just get into it. Let me kind of explain what's been going on. So I've always wanted to go to the Star Wars universe and be a part of it, and you know, this is the closest we've ever been to being able to do that, to have an actual lightsaber battle, to play an actual game of holo chess, to have a strategic battle with like actual things in front of you. It is one of the coolest things I've ever used. It is one of the coolest AR experiences I've ever used. Like, I've tried the Vive a bunch of times, I've tried the Oculus. This is very different because it's not VR, it's AR. So it's all around you in your house, wherever you are. And it's just like you're stepping into the world of Star Wars, but at the same time, you're still in your same world. It is just an awesome experience. So let's get into like the main review. So let's talk about lightsaber battles first. They're so cool. You can fight against so many different characters, just like being able to actually hold the lightsaber as if it were real, and like fighting and actually making the moves, like having a trainer come up and help you with the moves. It is one of the coolest things ever. But one thing that made me really upset while doing it is that for some reason, I don't know if this is just with mine, it might be an issue with all of them, my lightsaber would always not be centered. It would like go off to the side, and I would be holding it like this, and the saber would go all the way over to the right or all the way over to the left. It had a bunch of issues. I had to keep the center button. There's a center button, which is the circle button. You press that, it automatically centers it again. I had to press that like every 2 seconds to make it work. It was actually like I was pressing it like a bunch all the time while I was fighting to even have it centered to where it was like playable and not really weird. So let's talk about the actual game for a minute. So it looks really real. It looks like it's really in front of you. They just look like holograms. They're pretty much see-through. It's not like it looks like Kylo's really there in front of you.
I feel like Rey.
And I need help.
It's not like, it doesn't look like it's in front of you. It just looks like it's a hologram. But that kind of disappointed me. I mean, I kind of knew that. I thought it would look a little more like legit, like in front of you, but it ended up just kind of being like a hologram type thing where you can see through it. It was okay. So with the app and the game itself, the lag is real. Like very, very bad, to be honest with you. So if I'm in a lightsaber battle, let's say I'm fighting Darth Maul or something, pretty much every 5 seconds or every 10 seconds, it's gonna lag. Like to the extent where it's like breaking up and like looking like it's barely like robotically moving. It got really annoying, and like sometimes I would hear like a gunshot, and I wouldn't know where it's coming from because they didn't load yet, and then this like thing appears. There was just some bad lag throughout the whole thing. Honestly, the lag was pretty disappointing because I thought it was going to be pretty easily handled because it's not VR, it's AR. I know it's still a little graphics intensive for like a phone, something like that, because you do have to put your phone inside of it. But it was a little disappointing to not be able to fight like I really would because there was some lag in between it. But it didn't like stop me from having a lot of fun because it's still an awesome thing to pick up. I still love it. But the fact that there's a lot of lag, and then also the fact that I had to keep centering the lightsaber every 2 seconds, those were just a couple issues I had. So when I first opened it up, when I first unboxed it, it was awesome. It was like a great experience to unbox. But once I had all the pieces in front of me, the process of putting those pieces together was very difficult. And it isn't even just the first time. Like when I first had it in front of me, it took me like 2 hours to figure out how to set the thing up because you have to put your phone in a certain way. It's very confusing. And even after I learned it and mastered it, it still takes me about 10 minutes to even set it up completely and get into the game, which again stopped me from using it as much as I would have liked to. But if you're like planning on picking one up, I decided to make a little quick short video and description of how you really set it up and how to get into it as fast as you can. So let's roll that. So the first thing to do is to connect your lightsaber. You can do that through the app, just downloading it by doing circles or infinity logos, whatever it is, to get it calibrated. Once you do that, you're obviously gonna place out your beacon down on the ground, and then next you're gonna pull out the tray, which is associated with your headset. You're gonna make sure it's in correctly. It's like really hard. They have these little things on the sides. It's able to like push your phone to make sure your display's centered and looks good. And then once that's done, you can just press it into the display, you put it on, and it's good to go. But to be honest, I have so many issues with like getting it centered, getting it correct every time, and like putting it in backwards, putting it in a certain way. It's just hard, and they should make it more like easy to set up, I feel like. That's probably something for the next iteration, I would say, is the fact that it takes so long to set up because it's so confusing to set up. It was just a gripe I had. Next, I want to talk about Holo Chess. So I've always wanted to play Holo Chess. Ever since I first saw it in A New Hope, I've always been like wanting to know what the rules were, what the game was, like completely, and kind of understand it. And they have Holo Chess built into the Jedi Challenges AR. And to be honest, if you want me to be honest with you, it's fairly boring, pretty boring. Like, I thought they could have made it a lot more interesting than they made it. The gameplay is really slow. It's not like fun to play. I don't want to sit there and play it for like 15 minutes because it's just like so slow moving, hardly anything happens. It was honestly a letdown. Holo Chess was definitely a letdown. So the strategy gameplay is really cool too. It's really fun to just have it out in front of you, like these AT-AT walkers, like just right in front of you, and all the droids and stuff on the ground just fighting each other. It is so cool. It's so cool. But to be honest, after like 4 times of doing it, I kind of got bored of it. It just seems like it's not as cool as like having a lightsaber battle. That's honestly my favorite part of it, is the lightsaber battles. So final thoughts, should you buy it? And honestly, my answer is, I don't know. I don't know. I sincerely do not know on this one. It is a hard one to recommend or not recommend. It is one of the coolest things I've ever tried, but the fact that it takes so long to set up, the fact that there's a lot of lag, you have to center your lightsaber all the time, Holo Chess is kind of boring. I mean, the strategy is okay, but the Jedi lightsaber battles are freaking awesome. But the fact of those other things makes it really hard for me to have a final decision on this one. So I don't know. Decide for yourself. What do you think? Based on all the stuff that I just said in this video, would you buy it? Would you not buy it? Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah. Peace.